Diplomatic recognition is very important for Taiwan. As we know, Taiwan is recognized just by 23 countries in the community of nations. All of them except the Holy See are in the Caribbean, Latin America, Africa, and the South Pacific. Diplomatic recognition or diplomatic allegiance is very important for Taiwan, because especially if we consider its diplomatic rivalry with China, since its foundation, the People's Republic of China has been trying to extirpate Taiwan's diplomatic presence. 6 of Taiwan's 23 diplomatic allies are in the South Pacific. So the region has a prime geopolitical importance for Taiwan. I have to say that the situation is pretty balanced in the South Pacific. China has a slight advantage. It is recognized by 8 of the 14 out of the 14 Pacific Island states. Taiwan has the recognition of 6 island states, and well, the situation has been particularly stable. Over the last 30 years, just 5 countries out of 14 shipped allegiance. So Taiwan is pretty much able to maintain the diplomatic recognition of its allies in the Pacific. You have, islands which are very dependent on Chinese or Taiwanese aid. I give you 2 examples. China is the second donor to Papua New Guinea after Australia, and Taiwan is the second donor to Tuvalu after the European Union. It's a fact that the Pacific Island states are small, remote, plagued by social and political instability, and experiencing severe economic difficulties. Paradoxically, this situation gives the Pacific Island states more leverage vis-à-vis Taiwan and China. In other words, it enables them to better exploit Sino-Taiwanese rivalry in the region. The islands crave foreign aid, and policymakers in Taiwan and China know that very well. And to give you an example, the Fijian National Day has been sponsored by the Chinese embassy to Suva. The Fijian army is going to buy its weaponry from China rather than the West. It's very easy for China to win the favor or the allegiance of the Pacific Island country. They crave international aid. China is a rising star, in the Asia Pacific, both from the political and the economic, arenas. So, with a very small investment, you can really make the difference in a small polity like a Pacific Island state, and you can even reap the benefits. China has great, interest and investments in Papua New Guinea's mines. Taiwan has considerable fishing interests in the South Pacific. The region is not comparable to Africa or Latin America, but still there are natural resources which are very appealing to China and Taiwan, and even the other Western actors. Then the islands are benefiting from this rivalry because, first of all, it provides us with an alternative to Western aid, and secondly, the nature of the Taiwanese or the Chinese aid is perceived as more favorable to the islands because it allows them to retain a high degree of control on the way the aid is delivered and spent. There is a situation where we have Western donors, as Australia, the European Union, implementing aid condition reform policy toward the islands. On the contrary, the aid provided by Taiwan and China is basically with no or a few strings attached. And so the islands are benefiting in terms of infrastructures, agricultural projects, education, health system. I have to say that Taiwanese aid is regarded to be more beneficial to the islands because, for instance, when it comes to infrastructural projects, the Chinese usually import labor, materials, while the Taiwanese give the money to the Pacific Island governments to buy materials, employ local workforce. So and usually Taiwanese do not tend to overstay, while on many occasions Chinese infrastructural projects in the islands have been have provided Chinese overstayers with an opportunity to stay and work as illegal immigrants, or even import some crime in the islands. My name is Fabrizio Bozzato. I'm being here in Taiwan for 1 year, basically. I'm a PhD candidate at Tankang University, and I also have the pleasure and honor of being an associate researcher at the Ricci Institute. And today I'm here to, exchange some ideas with you about Taiwan-China rivalry in the South Pacific.